If you've been telling yourself that you're unmotivated lately, I want you to challenge that because most people aren't lacking motivation, they're lacking clarity. And when you misdiagnose the problem, you keep trying to fix the wrong thing. That's why you keep starting over. Welcome back to the Sunny Side Up podcast. I am your host, Olivia Janelle, and I'm incredibly grateful that you are here with me together again on another episode. And today we're talking about motivation, or more specifically, why motivation is rarely the issue, even though it's the one most people blame. If you've been stuck, scattered, or like you should be doing more but can't seem to move, this episode is for you. We've been taught that motivated people are disciplined, driven, and consistent. So if you're not moving forward, the story becomes, I just need more motivation. But motivation is emotional, it's temporary, and it's unreliable. If motivation were the solution, everyone who felt inspired once would be living their dream life by now. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. Motivation shows up after you move, not before. Here's what's actually happening. Most people who say they're unmotivated are actually overwhelmed. Too many goals, too many ideas, too many voices telling them what they should be doing, and too much noise of I should be further along than where I'm at right now. So the brain does what it's designed to do. When there's too much input, it freezes. That freeze looks like procrastination, it looks like avoidance, it looks like scrolling, it looks like starting and stopping. And then you label yourself as lazy or unmotivated, but that's not the truth. You're undecided. Clarity simplifies. When you know what matters right now, your nervous system relaxes. There's less internal debate, less second guessing, less mental noise. And suddenly, energy appears. Not because you forced it, but because you removed the friction. This is why one clear decision can feel more motivating than 10 inspiring podcasts. Clarity creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. One of the biggest traps people fall into is waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel motivated, waiting to feel clear. But readiness is created through movement. The people who seem disciplined aren't more motivated. They're just less attached to how it feels to start. They move first, and their emotions catch up. That's exactly where I'm at right now. I didn't want to record a podcast today. I was supposed to record this podcast 3 days ago. It took me 3 days to do it, right? And then I said, no, I'll push it off. I'll do it again. Oh, there's too much noise, can't do it. And then I decided to start setting up my microphone. And then eventually I just fall into the trap of, well, I guess I have to record this podcast. That's exactly the same thing that we do every single day. We always have a debate with our internal self. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I start? Should I stop? It happens all the time. If you've noticed a pattern of starting strong and then stopping, this is usually why. You start with excitement instead of direction. Excitement fades, direction sustains. When clarity isn't there, you stall. Then you judge yourself, reset, and wait for motivation again. And the cycle repeats. Instead of asking, why can't I stay motivated? Ask this. What's one thing that actually matters right now? What's the next honest step? Not the perfect one. What decision would simplify my life instead of complicating it? Momentum doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less on purpose. Here's the deeper layer most people miss. Motivation is not a personality trait. It's a byproduct of self-trust. When you trust yourself to follow through, you move faster. When you don't trust yourself, your brain hesitates. So every small decision you honor builds evidence. I do what I say I'm going to do. That's how consistency is actually built. So if you've been telling yourself you're unmotivated, I want you to hear this. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not lacking discipline. You're overwhelmed and undecided. And the solution isn't hype, it's clarity. Choose one direction, take one step, Let motivation meet you there because movement creates momentum and momentum changes everything. I want you to know this. You are one step away from the life that you desire. It all comes from you understanding who you are as a person, knowing your psychology, knowing what you are fully capable of doing, and just going towards that. The fear that you have that's inside of you, it's fake. It's not even real. We make up stories in our heads all the time of the things that we can and cannot do. That's why we always start and stop all the time. There's always so much noise. But once you are able to silence the noise and turn it down, then everything becomes different. You start to see the world differently. You actually start to notice that every single thing has been planned out for you on purpose for a purpose. And once you're able to step into that light, you are fully capable of doing and achieving anything that you put your mind to. All you have to do is understand what's going on up here and connect with what's going on right here. You know what's so crazy? Listen to this. Listen to this. You will be shocked by how much you can achieve when you stop negotiating with yourself, arguing with yourself, because those are the things that are going on up there. I even set a test for myself this entire week, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna change up something right here, right? I'm like, oh, I was telling myself, I was just like, oh, you don't have that much time. Like, why would you do that? Like, you're gonna be late for something, right? Wrong. I have plenty of time. It's because you're constantly making excuses up here. You will be further along and you can achieve more once you stop making excuses for yourself. And once you stop debating with yourself of what you can and cannot do. Once you master your psychology, you can master your life. I'm a true testimony of that. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I will see you in the next one. Bye.